Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Hayabusa, is the secret tip to landing with your knuckles, even when you're wearing gloves. All right, in today's episode, I'm giving you my secret trick that I like to do to land with my knuckles, okay? Now, you'll see a lot of popular videos of people just showing you the wrist positioning, the hand positioning, make sure you do bare knuckle training. Yes, it's part of it, but there's a little bit more to it that is important. And these drills, I feel, are gonna really help you when you put the big glove on. Now, when you hit bag with just bare knuckle, it's nice, okay? Then the next day you come and you put your bag gloves on or your big sparring gloves on, and the next thing you know, you're hitting all over the place, okay? So I like this little warm-up progression, even if it's before pad work, before bag work, before sparring. It takes a little bit of time, but I think it's valuable, just like everything else. When you go into the weight room, you warm up your certain muscles. Before you spar, you loosen up your hips, you do your stretching. Just like it is with the knuckles, you gotta learn to land with them properly. So when you do land with them, even when you're fighting and you have a 10-ounce glove, you wanna feel your knuckles through that glove to give you that extra little push, that penetration, that sharpness, the power, okay? So here's the tricks. So let's start with the first trick, which I think is one of the most important parts of it, is we're gonna go into a push-up position, okay? Now, from the push-up position, I want you in a nice fist, okay? Now, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, you gotta make a proper fist, okay? When you're bare knuckle, I don't wanna see the thumbs out, obviously not tucked in, okay? I wanna see properly the thumb locked in like you would traditionally, okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to get in a push-up position, okay? Or the way your punch is, okay? I like to go vertical to start. Now, when I'm in this push-up position, I'm pushing my two big knuckles into the mat. So if I were to remove my hands from the mat, you see two big knuckle imprints in the mats, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. Now, what this teaches you is you can see my shoulder, okay, is right on top of my knuckles, okay? Now, in order to be in this position, my wrist has to be perfectly lined up. That's why when you teach a bare knuckle strike, you make sure the two knuckles are lined up with the wrist. So my knuckles are lined up this way, and from this position, it's not up and it's not down. So this push-up position forces you to be in this nice position. Whether I'm vertical or I punch horizontally, I'm still having and practicing having these two knuckles into the ground. Now, all the weight on these two knuckles, I'm starting to feel them a little bit bruised, a little bit red. I feel the impact of them, okay? So you can start, and then I keep adjusting my hands sometimes, vertical versus horizontal. So now I know my wrists are lined up straight, my knuckles are in a good position to land, and now I know which two knuckles are working at this point, okay? So that's part one to it. Now, if you look at my knuckles, they're a little bit red. I can feel where they are. Now, this is what I go to the bag, okay? So when you're on the bag now, the last thing I really want to do is start smacking so hard. When you really smack hard, you start landing with other parts of the hand and the knuckle, okay? I'm forcing you to land with the big two knuckles. So what we do here now is nice and light. I want you to just focus on landing with these two knuckles, okay? On both hands. And you notice sometimes I punch vertical, sometimes horizontal. I could even punch with hooks, body shots, okay? Everything is landing with these two knuckles, training myself to put my wrist in a certain position. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves, and this is going to my MMA fighters out there, a lot of times fighters put on MMA gloves, they don't know how to punch. And next thing you know, they're doing bag work or pad work, and these middle knuckles are all scraped and bleeding. How are they bleeding? A lot of times it's the hooks. They don't know how to manipulate their wrists for hooks and punches, okay? So now when I throw a hook on the bag, I have to kind of turn my wrists in a little bit. And that's a little trick for you guys, bare knuckle or with MMA gloves. You gotta corkscrew your wrist this way. When you do land the hook, okay, the knuckles are landing. If I keep my wrist straight, it's very hard for me to land with those two knuckles. So kind of flex your forearms a little bit to get them, okay? So now I'll punch vertical, horizontal, different angles, different body levels, okay? And I keep just landing with those two knuckles, okay? So you'll notice after you do that little push-up drill before, when you get to this position, your wrist feels so strong, and you automatically know which knuckles you're using. If you land with the wrong knuckle, okay, if I land with the bottom two, I didn't warm them up. There's no sensitivity, so I know I'm not landing with the right two. But when I hit with my big two now, I can feel a little bit of soreness and bruising, not a lot, but just enough to know that the right parts are landing, okay? Now this part here is when you get your gloves on, okay? Now if you just went right to big gloves and tried to practice your knuckles, the glove is a little thick for you to understand. And me personally, I like doing bag work and pad work in smaller gloves, 10 ounces or bag work gloves. This way I can feel my knuckles through it. But a lot of people who don't have bag gloves, this is the perfect way to do it. So starting with the knuckles on the mat, that's gonna strengthen our wrists, make sure our knuckles and wrist position are aligned, okay? Then with the bare knuckle training, making sure you're landing at full extension with those two knuckles is the next important part. Now, when I put these gloves on, I could still feel, okay, every time I land, I could still feel my knuckles landing in that bag. So now when I go to shoot and play, I know with full confidence, okay, that I can land with these two big knuckles. And then even when I hit now, boom, 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 I know that I'm landing confidently and with full maximum power, okay? Two knuckles is gonna get you that much more power and dig, whichever level you're going at, okay? So train those knuckles, make them tough, make them strong. Practice this little progression, and I guarantee you, when you go on the bag to throw your hands, you're gonna feel so much more confident, better, and ready to rip those punches as hard as you can with the two proper knuckles, okay? Hope you enjoyed today's little secret trick, because to me, it's the most important thing. New martial artists, they don't really value the old school hand conditioning, okay? In the old days, we had the makiwara practicing. We practiced in smaller gloves. We did board breaking with bare hand stuff as well, okay? So learning to punch bare knuckle, whether you're a kickboxer, an MMA fighter, any martial artist, boxing especially, you're gonna need to make sure you train these knuckles, land with them properly. The biggest mistake you can do is put these things on and then start hitting your hands in different positions. That's how you break your hands, right? If you're in an MMA fight, if you're punching properly, the chances of breaking your hand is less likely. But when you start swinging and hitting with different parts of your hands and odd angles and different wrist position, that's where you can hurt yourself, okay? So proper knuckle training, learn to hit with them. It's not just conditioning your knuckle, you just have to make sure you land with them, place with them, and that's what's gonna do more damage. So now when I land my right hand or my jab, I'm feeling those two knuckles really penetrate through my glove. Okay? Like, subscribe, share, and make sure you keep going to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA, and make sure you support the channel by supporting our sponsors. We have Hayabusa by going to Hayabusa Fight, linked in the description below. The shorts, the T3 boxing gloves, everything they have is super sick and slick. We have Perfect Sports Nutrition. If you use code Bazooka20, you can get 20% off your supplements. Make sure you check out their BCAAs, the Alter Stay pre-workout, and all of their protein selections, the best flavors out there, okay? Last but not least, we have bazookatraining.com, online curriculum and training taught by me. The best part is we have an archive library now of over 250 videos, plus every single Monday you're getting 4 brand new videos from me that are all different. We have home workouts, bag workouts, sparring drills, tutorials. You have so much information to learn. They're all categorized in punches, kicks, knees, combos, fight concepts. You have everything to learn. If you want to learn kicks, switch kicks, defense, tie clinches, footwork drills, all there for you. YouTube, I just give you little examples, but when you get over to bazookatraining.com, that's where you get the whole curriculum, the system, all taught for me for less than $10 a month, $9.99 each month, brand new videos every single week, all right? Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's gonna give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're gonna be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.